you guys. So I wanted to come on here and do a little energy update for the collective since my live didn't upload with sound. So I pulled the cards already and I set the intention for the week. For those of you who don't know, Mercury did go retrograde. Mercury went direct again today. And I believe Pluto was another Pluto and Saturn, I believe. I'm not sure exactly, but there were other planets in retrograde that have also gone direct since then. And we enter Scorpio season at the end of this week as well. So lots of energy. I've been reading some of the astrological stuff, and I've been reading some twin flame content as well. And so I will be speaking on what has come out here today because it's very interesting. We have the Empress here, and we also have the masculine energy here as well. So very consistent with the messages I've been getting. The 20 energy, I will say, divine counterpart energy, has been rampant again. I feel like it was a bit silent for a bit, or we were kind of a little bit in distortion for a while, and now we kind of see the energies kind of leveling out, and that's going to look different for everyone, right? If you're not on the twin flame journey, that's okay. That's just one template. I read for ascension, star seeds, ascended beings, all of that together, right? It's all the same. We all have divine masculine, divine feminine energies within. The twin flame concept is just a journey to ascension, okay? So again, I say that just so that you know that you guys can all relate to this in your own way. So bottom of the deck, it's funny because I saw this twice. It's the hanged man in reverse. I saw it twice this way, and then it came up on the bottom of the deck. To me, the hanged man upright is all about a perspective shift. It's all about, a lot of times, a pause or a period of reflection that is needed to shift our perspective on something. So with the hanged man, or in this case, the hanged woman, in the reverse position, I feel like that's saying that if anything has been paused, or if the energies have felt paused in any way, that especially as it relates to our manifestations, right, or any karmic contracts or karma, specifically with third-party energy as well, I feel like that we've seen cycles complete, right? And now it's almost like we're not it's not that we're not paying attention to the third party energy. It's just that we're realizing what it is, right? That it's not necessarily a person. It's more so an energy, right? An energy of interference at times, right? So again, I do encourage everybody to do what they do for clearing purposes, but I feel like we've done the work in viewing things from a different perspective during this retrograde period, during the pause of the retrograde period, right? And now I feel like we're seeing the energy shift again. We're seeing the energy move again, right? And why do I say this? Now, Scorpio season is always, it's still murky water. It's still reaching into the depths, but it's also about doing that in order to be reborn, in order for the energy to be reborn in a more aligned way, right? And on the bottom of the Intuit Oracle, we have the heart card. It says love, romance, joy, bliss, heart's desires, content, affection, fulfillment, kindness, forgiveness, passionate caring. Yeah, so for some of you, maybe you were viewing something in a certain way during retrograde. Now you've realized that there was some forgiveness that you needed to do, and you applied that to the situation and to yourself if need be. And now your heart is open, right? Your heart is opening. I also feel like for some of you, this is the opportunity for romance, for joy, for bliss, for your heart's desires, right? Because now you're seeing things from the right perspective, because now things are no longer feeling paused, okay? I will say in the situation position, we have 2-2, so 2-2-2 may be something a lot of people are seeing. This card is also an 11 card, which adds up to a 2. But in the situation position, we see the 2 of Swords and fear. So again, I feel like the situation has been, prior to these planets going direct, of us being a little bit of indecisive energy, a little bit of an illusion, not really seeing things for what they are, not seeing things from a place of love, and thus letting our fears run rampant, right? And I will say that I also experienced this during the retrograde period as well. Okay, and the 2 of Swords to me is also about pause and inner reflection, right? It's about taking a moment to come to terms with how you really feel and what you can do about it, right? because obviously we can't change other people, but we can change ourselves and how we feel about a situation, right? And Maya Angelou had this great quote that said, if you don't like something, change it. If you can't change it, change your attitude, right? And I feel like that's what that reverse Hanged Man was about, right? It's like we've already done that. So again, we may have been disillusioned or illusioned with fear during this past retrograde cycle, and now we're seeing things more clearly. We're realizing that it's our fears. And, you know, with the number 11, again, this could relate to divine counterpart situations as well, but it could also relate to your own divine masculine energy and how you've viewed that, right? Maybe you were afraid to bring a project full force, or maybe you weren't really sure about how to express a certain desire in terms of divine inspirations and projects, right? And now it's like, okay, I understand that fear was holding me back. I understand that I needed to take a moment to process that, and now we can progress forward in real tangible ways, right? And I say that because in the situation position, the action position, we have the Two of Pentacles and fruition, right? It's gone beyond the mind. We've moved past the duality of the mind, and now we're talking about tangible results, tangible decisions, right? I always look at the Two of Pentacles as, you know, it's like the infinity symbol. It always reminds me of divine counterpart energy as well. But again, this could just be you relating your divine masculine and feminine energies within, and having them work excuse me in conjunction with each other in order to bring these projects to fruition, right? And not from a place of fear, which we've now liberated ourselves from in the mind, but from a place of stability, right? And this actually looks like a full moon here. It says harvest moon. So I do feel like, again, in terms with divine counterpart situations, I feel like we're understanding things at a much better perspective, a more expansive perspective, right? And there's always two sides of that energy. I also feel like, you know, you will be making choices in the 3D, in the material world, relating to your desires, relating to your manifestations, and you will see them come into fruition once you do. Remember that no decision is also a decision, so don't stay in a place of not knowing or, you know, being indecisive, right? Follow your heart, follow what it is that you're being called to do. Keep it heart-centered, okay? That's something during Scorpio season, a lot of times we see the shadow come up, right? And it's important. I'm seeing the Strength card, right? Because underneath this Joy card, we have this Lion card. It's like the Strength card. What's the Strength card about except for standing up for ourselves and for our energy, even amidst fears, right? Even amidst a giant lion, right? And this is about overcoming difficulties and staying heart-centered, even amidst facing our fears, right? And in the outcome, we have the Hierophant, right? The Hierophant with the number 44 card, attraction. So this week, the energies are very powerful. They're very shifting. They're very transformative. And again, we don't want to be in a place of indecision, because this will prevent us from accomplishing what we want, which is to bring our desires to fruition, right? I also feel, you know, the law of attraction has been like something that we all should be or are familiar with. I speak about it a lot. It's not so much of not paying attention to what you don't want, but instead viewing that and using that to kind of fine tune what you do, right? Again, perspective shift. I do feel that there has been a lot of learning during this retrograde period, and now we're able to attract from a more authentic place, right? Again, I do feel with this masculine energy in the bottom and this change card that we are changing the way that we're viewing things, the way that we're working within our own masculine energies to achieve our goals. I also feel like in divine counterpart situations, this is about change happening with your masculine energy. Again, I see it as positive, although I did read in a Twin Flame Collective update that Twin Flames 1111 did, that the masculine energy will be facing the ego a little bit this week, or will be facing some of the shadows, some of what the feminine has already faced. So that may be relevant to some, but there is change here, and I've been seeing that expect the unexpected, oh my goodness, since August, right? So we're still seeing this energy here. And it's nothing to fear. I feel it's more so about new energy, more so than anything, right? New beginnings, walking through that door, walking through that portal, which to me reminds me of the 1111 portal, because we are speaking about counterparts here. or again, the inner divine masculine and feminine energy, as I mentioned before. So just to add to that message, these are clarifier cards, right? That I pulled, and we have the Empress card here, which says attraction and attractiveness in ourselves and others, grace, charm, beauty, love, relationship, art, magnetism, which we see here as well, abundance, pleasure, happiness. We have the Anchor, stable, enduring, solid, steady, restraint, secure, persevere, willpower, long-lasting, persist, advantage, fortitude. And what I'm really getting from this, and 3 + 5 is 8, right? And 3 + 8 is 11, right? I do feel like there has been a lot of commitment on this path, and I feel like regardless of whether things look like you expected them to or not, there is this like persevering energy, this energy or this connection that persists within you, right? And so regardless of how you have to open up to love and grace and charm and beauty, however that works out for you in your own journey, in your own ascension path, just know that, you know, you are this anchor, that you are stable, that you are enduring, you know, and that the results are long lasting. And that there's a lot going on here beyond the veil that you may not be privy to with that unexpected card. So expect the unexpected, but do so in like by attracting what you want, not like expecting some fearful event or something to like rock you in a negative way, right? And I say that because we also have this Scythe card here. Right, for some of you, maybe J is an infinite is an infinite connection, yeah, maybe. But for others of you, I feel like J may be an initial, or A as well, because there's A on the, like, 2 J's right here. See, JJ, and A here. So those might be initials for you guys. Either way, again, this is the sudden, unexpected energy. This is about harvest. It's just like, it just made me think of like when you're waiting and waiting and waiting for like your crops to harvest, and like you're not seeing them break ground, and then suddenly they all break ground, and you know, in a week then you see them growing far, you know, larger than you expected to, and just maybe 2 weeks ago they were underneath the ground and you couldn't tell what was happening. So to me, it's that kind of energy of it being sudden, of you looking away and focusing on something else and it happening, kind of thing. And but the Scythe is also about a reckoning, a ripping off the band-aid, a surprise. So I feel like, again, I don't get negative vibes from this. I don't. And I don't think that you guys should be viewing it as negative either. I think whatever is sudden, whatever is cut, whatever is released in this full moon, it's necessary, it's culminating for a reason. And that we should view it more so from a place of surprise than a place of negativity or shock. Although this does talk about cutting away, I feel like it's more so cutting away at the fear, more so than anything else. Okay? And I also feel like cutting away from like having our fear and like our worries in our vibration. And I just saw 1313 on the clock. So again, it's like that shift, you know, of death and rebirth, right? It might feel the death process is grueling at first and it's hurtful, and we go through the stages of mourning, but then there is a rebirth and understanding and acceptance, right? So yeah, that's what I'm getting for this week, guys. I hope that these messages resonated. Again, view whatever happens this week from a place of love. Continue to embody love and continue to hope for sudden change in the areas that you need change, or continue to hope for your wishes fulfilled. Continue to hope for and know and be sure that you're attracting through this spiritual journey exactly what's meant for you and your journey and your learning and your wisdom. Okay, so sending you guys so much love this week and always. Take care.